My name's Adam Monaco and I'm the Financial Controller for Hi-Tech Oils. With our national capacity, we can now service Australian companies nationwide. Of late, we have now expanded into the New Zealand market. Here at Hi-Tech Oils, we receive premium base oils and premium additive packs. Together, with our highly trained staff, we manufacture over 500 premium quality products. Hi-Tech Oils is Australian made and Australian owned.
On today's show, we head over to Europe and to Euskadi in the northern region of Spain for the penultimate round of the FIM Superenduro World Championship. Then later in the show, we return to Australia and head to Sydney Motorsport Park for a brand new season of the Hi-Tech Oils Australian FX Superbike Championship, featuring the Superbikes, Supersports and Amsport 600s. This is Speedweek.
Bit of creeping, who's going to get the whole shot? Colton Hager's got a good start. Oh, flying on the track. Oh, no. The inside line from Johnny Walker. Oh, 3 bikes down and it's 3 of the big contenders, I think. Oh, this is huge. As Blasusiak goes down. Oh, he sent one up the inside. Oh, that's very, very impolite. Contact between Blasusiak and Cody Webb. Good for good see for the South African. Oh, big one for Teddy Blasusiak. Walker's into the lead. Cody down. That's amazing. Take that, says Johnny Walker. Section into the rocks. Just about stays in front of Teddy Blasusiak. Blasusiak takes the 3rd race win. Never give up.
Hey, my name's Johnny Walker and we're here at the 4th round of the Superenduro Championship here in Bilbao, and I'm going to take you for a lap of the track. First turn sharp, straight up the hill, and then a double. Finish line single, straight into the first sandy corner, around a flat tyre, over some logs into a smoke turn, which is good for some passive manoeuvre, and then into a matrix where there's 2 lines left and right. The final rocks, which is going to be good because there's so many other lines. Last 2 doubles onto the straight and back into the first corner again.
We'll kick off then with the Super Pole session, Acropovic Super Pole session for our top 7 runners from our time practice session earlier on. The first man to go, because we only have 6 of our Works KTM and Husqvarna riders, is Juan Pau Segura from Spain. The only man in the top 7 from Spain, because sadly Alfredo Gomez injured his knee. And so that is the start of his lap through the finish area. Track's quite different to how we saw in the time practice session. A lot of work's been done in the interim. We were live on Facebook a few hours ago, so you could have picked up on all the news from there. Juan Pau Segura finishing 7th in that session, which puts him 1st in this session. The matrix here, not too challenging. The rock section also seemingly not too bad. Segura struggling, however, with the rock section. You can double up these two. That was pretty easy from him. Actually, the hardest bit seems to be that corner. It's very packed earth, and the rider's really struggling for traction through there. Juan Pau Segura then stops the clock at a 47.733. We expect a lot better to come from our next 6 riders. The next one is Manuel Lettenbecker. Lettenbecker, not a Works rider, has Works support. He's one of the few riders on the KTM 2-stroke bike. The other main Works riders all ride the 354-stroke. And Lettenbecker should be quite a bit faster than Juan Pau Segura. There's a really big difference between those top 6. Always made a bit of a mess of that first matrix. Managed to pick it up, though. Very, very strong to hoik that front end of his KTM over the log section in the matrix. Easily doubles both of those 2 jumps. And now comes towards the line. We've seen a lot of people quite off balance through there. 43.759. I think we're in the 36s in practice, so the track is quite different. Here's Johnny Walker then. Walker much stronger after he had a crash November last year, so not a great start to the season in the Super Enduro for Walker, but feels a lot better now. Able to jump straight across those rock section. That's really what you want to be doing. Squares off the matrix corner, already finding a second over Manuel Lettenbecker. Looks much better through the matrix, and he'll lay down quite a good time here. You see very strong through the rocks. It's a big old kind of big old drift through that big left-hander. And look at that, another 4 seconds found, 39.7. I reckon we'll still find some time, though, on that. Not sure how happy Walker will be. The track is developing all the time. Here is Colton Haker, 2-time champion in the Super Enduro World Championship the last 2 years. Was hoping to make it 3, but Colton lies something like 41 points off Cody Webb, who leads the championship. We'll see Cody a little bit later on. Colton Haker picked up 3 points in the opening weekend in Poland. He was the fastest man and picked up 3 Aquapobic Superpole points then, and picked up 1 in Spain last time out. Dodgy line coming into that fast left-hander. Definitely off balance. Look how he's throwing that Husqvarna about. Is he going to be better than Johnny Walker? It's not. For a second time this week, Colton Haker loses out to Johnny Walker, who was on a rowing machine a couple of days ago, and now he goes back to the paddock slower than the Brit. Next up then, there he is, Billy Bolt. Didn't look very strong in time practice. Was really struggling with his bike. Only managed to really lay down 1 decent time. New engine in this bike. Hasn't been able to do much running since we saw him in Malaga. Obviously, we all know about the weather across Europe. The riders that have stayed in Spain have had okay weather, but Billy went back to the UK and really wasn't able to run at all. Oh, sliding around over those rocks. Amazing the core strength to keep the bike upright. Oh, getting kicked around there as well on the matrix section. Billy's 0.6 of a second up on Johnny Walker, the fastest man through the first sector of the lap. Colton Haker was the strongest through the second sector, despite being seriously off balance. What can Billy Bolt do? Comes to the line now, nice and clean, gets kicked sideways there, loses 0.3 of a second, and again, falls behind Johnny Walker. Oh, so strong through the first sector of the lap, but was a second slower than Walker in the second sector. Right, Tadej Blasusiak, we may remember, if you were watching us in Malaga, headbutted the grandstand, a big accident for Blasusiak in the second moto of the evening. Still feeling the effects of that, still feeling a little bit sore in certain places. Hasn't been able to ride very much since Malaga, but doesn't seem to be affecting him, does it? Still seems to be pretty attacking. Look at the physicality, the way he's throwing his body over the front wheel. Only a 10th slower than Johnny Walker through the first sector. Billy Bolt was 0.6 faster than that. What can Taddy find in the second sector? Whoa, again, landing on the front end. That wasn't ideal from Blasusiak. I think Walker's got this for the moment. Again, massively off balance, has to get out the throttle and drops to 4th position. Untidy lap from the pole. Our 6-time champion. And he's going to go back to the back of the paddock. One man to run then. Cody Webb was 0.8 of a second faster than anybody else in time practice. What can Cody Webb do here? Johnny Walker is guaranteed at least 2 points. Could it be the full 3? Or will Cody Webb repeat what he did in the last 2 events, both in Malaga and in Germany? He took the full 3 from this Super Pole session. Oh, he's off balance. Big mistake from Cody Webb. This could be Johnny Walker's. Big mistake from Cody Webb. Where's he going to finish up? It's Walker from Bolt from Haker at the moment, the top 3. I don't know if Cody Webb's going to even break into the top 3. Only 0.3 of a second separating those boys, then 1.2 back to Blasusiak. What can Cody Webb find? He's lost 2.5 seconds in that first sector. Now it's coming towards the line. It looked fast through the second sector. And it's only 5th position for Cody Webb. No Super Pole points. Walker picks up 3. Billy Bolt picks up 2. And Colton Haker picks up 1 point for 3rd. Well, here are the championship positions after our first 3 events of the year in the prestige class. Cody Webb leading the championship by 24 points over Blasusiak, Bolt, Colton Haker and Johnny Walker. Our top 5, Alfredo Gomez, who said in Superpole, no longer taking part in the championship after damaging his knee. Testing with the boys, with Colton Haker and Johnny Walker, who are having a little holiday together, doing a bit of practice. And Johnny Walker it was who got the fastest time in that Super Pole session. So he gets the pick of the game. He talked about being in the middle. Will he choose the middle? Let's see in a few seconds exactly where he is. We saw that first obstacle is very, very tricky to get over at the start. There's Cody Webb, our championship leader. Webb with 5 victories to his name this season. Nobody else has got more than 1. Billy Bolt took 1 in the reverse race of Poland. He is 3rd in the championship. But Bolt has not been in Spain. Quite a few of these guys have. Altogether, it's a really nice family atmosphere. Johnny Walker, the host for Tadej Blasusiak and Colton Haker. Nice shiny helmets this weekend for Johnny. And he has chosen right in the centre. So he wasn't lying, was he? 4th from the outside, so it gives him a bit of room, but he needs to make a good start then. He needs to get around the outside of Haker, who's to his inside. Blasusiak is also to his inside. Juan Palseguera there on the right-hand side will be squeezed, I think. No David Knight. David injuring his hand, so he will not take any further part, which means no gas. Off we go. Who's made a good start? Who'll get round the first corner? Cody Webb loses his inside, and it is Blasusiak and Colton Haker who motor over the first big jump. Juan Juan Segura battling over third position with Cody Webb. I think Johnny Walker is in there as well, but it hasn't been a good start from our Super Pole winner. Lasusiak, Haker, Webb, Juan Segura. There's Johnny Walker, Billy Bolt to the outside, and then the second batch of riders. Very, very two distinct groups in this. There is David Leonov coming through, who's benefited from David Knight not taking any further part. We'll try and catch a word with David Knight if we can. He's around still. Colton Haker then leading the race. Haker with just one victory to his name in Germany in the reverse grid race 2. Lots of bad luck this season so far. Haker with no jet lag. He spent the last couple of weeks over in Europe doing a bit of training in Spain. For the moment, looking good. We've not seen him look this strong all season. He came into the season with an injury. He struggled with that injury in the first weekend in Poland. Now struggling a little bit with the rock section. Webb has got past Lasusiak. Lasusiak, remember, is also carrying an injury, and Walker has now passed him as well. Walker up to third position. Lasusiak headbutting that grandstand. Horrible accident we saw in Malaga last time out. Still suffering the effects of that. Will be running on painkillers here, but was second in the championship. Wanted to try and take some points away from Cody Webb and keep that championship alive. It will probably go down to the wire in Sweden in the final round at Easter weekend. But Lasusiak really wants a chance of winning it. At the moment, he's fading in this first one. So it's Colton Haker. Haker's lead has come down to nothing now. Little momentary pause in the rocks. Oh, and Johnny Walker on the inside. Billy Bolt getting caught out in the rock section. Struggling there in free practice, but the bike was stalling. He wasn't getting a decent run of things through the rock section with Billy Bolt. Bolt is very much in 5th position for the moment. Nice cue of very, very fast riders. You can see how rutted up the sand section is getting. Lots of talk about the earth here. Kevin Gallas mentioned it just a little bit earlier on. The earth is very unpredictable. It's almost as though somebody's demolished a house and emptied it inside this gay arena. All sorts of different bricks and china. We've had a change for the lead. Colton Haker's made a mistake somewhere. And it looks to me as though that man, Cody Webb, is now leading the race. We'll have confirmation as he comes to the line, but Haker's made a mistake somewhere and lost a good chunk of time. Cody Webb is our new leader. Second position is Johnny Walker. Ooh, that was very, very polite, wasn't it? You're getting in the way. If you're a back marker, you have to expect a bit of abuse, and somebody going head over heels in the back, a shot there. Didn't quite see who that was. Haker's dropped down to 5th position. It's a big error from Colton Haker on that last lap. What on earth happened? Meanwhile, fastest lap of the race that last time through for Cody Webb. He's now being pursued by that man, Johnny Walker. Lasusiak has got past Walker, but then I think he's just stalled the bike into that rock section again. And Webb has a commanding lead now. There is Webb, just on the right-hand side of your screen. Walker goes over the line with Lasusiak behind him. And then it's Bolt in 4th position. What on earth happened to Colton Haker? Haker was leading this race. And Haker now comes over the line, 25 seconds back. This is a disaster for the American. And at this rate, he's going to lose that 4th position in the championship to Johnny Walker, although Walker momentarily stationary in the rock section, and I think Walker's dropped down to 3rd. Because, yeah, there's Tadej Lasusiak now up to 2nd. Lasusiak's got traffic, though. He needs to try and find a way past Diego Vieira. Does so with ease. And with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining, Cody Webb now has a 10.5-second lead. It's all about mistakes. And you see, if you're racing against somebody side by side, you can kind of force them offline. You can put them in compromising positions. But all these guys are very much spaced out. We talked about it being a one-line race. For a moment, we're seeing that as another of our back markers hits the deck in the rock section. That is the 33 of Blake Gootsey. He's up in 8th position. Gootsey just outside the top 7. Good effort from Paul Tarez, who is in that 7th position. Lasusiak being kicked around a messy couple of laps, but he's got himself into the rhythm now, brought himself back up into 2nd position. Faster by a second and a half over Johnny Walker on that last lap through. Oh, Johnny looking a bit tired. This is only the first moto. These guys are really spaced out. Quite a surprise to find out from Cody Webb exactly why they think that's happened. More traffic for Johnny Walker to contend with. Gets through relatively clean, but he's been pursued by Billy Bolt. There is Bolt in 4th position. Bolt's closing in on Walker. We're on the final lap now, so Walker can't really afford any errors. Hasn't really got the balance sorted. 47.3. Some 4 or 5 seconds slower than we saw Walker do a lap ago. Cody Webb with a bit of patience in the rock section. He's got 9 seconds to play with. He can sit around and do nothing for a bit. Have a sandwich on the side of the track. He looks over his shoulder, almost shrugs with disbelief. Where on earth is the rest of his teammates? Well, it's going to be a KTM 1-2-3. The checker flag falls, and it's Cody Webb who takes his 6th victory of the season and kicks off the Grand Prix of Euskadi in the best fashion. Lasusiak in 2nd position, Walker over the line in 3rd. Billy Bolt not far behind though. Bolt was his fastest lap on that last lap to take 4th. And Colton Haker yet to finish. Haker's actually in the rock section still. He's still half a lap to go, and has Colton Haker lost another position? He may well have lost another position. Cody Webb is heading out on his victory lap, but what about the fight for 5th? Who's going to come over the line? Colton Haker comes over the line in 5th position, and Lettenbicker comes over just in 6th spot. So a big old gap between our contenders, not what we're used to seeing. Confirmation that Cody Webb wins by 4.6 seconds at the end. That doesn't really tell the whole story. He was much more dominant than that over Lasusiak. Walker dropping to 3rd by the end, Bolt 4th. But look, Colton Haker 43 back. Don't know what happened, didn't see a thing, but we'll have to find out exactly what the issues was for the Husqvarna American. Cody, congratulations. A pretty dominant and clean victory by the end. Were you surprised at the gaps?
Yeah, honestly, I kind of was surprised with the gap. Got a pretty good start from the outside. One of the other riders bumped into me and my clutch lever was bent up. So the first 2 laps I was struggling to reach it and came off the straightaway and banged it down. And from there I just charged forward, and a lot of mistakes were made in practice. So, you know, I really wasn't running my full out pace. I just kind of wanted to be smooth and consistent, because all day people are making big mistakes in the matrix. It's really slick out there, and had it bad with the lappers going through the rocks. And, you know, I just want to play it smart. I had a gap and just take my time around the outside if I had to. You know, it's not worth risking a lead like that, and, you know, luckily I got the win.
Yeah, as you say, it's a bit of a one-line track where the mistakes from all the back markers, it's difficult to find a decent way past.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't think it's a one-line track. Some of the other riders are saying it. I mean, there's a couple spots, obviously, but through the matrix, you know, that's where I made the pass in the lead. I just watched what the other riders were doing and, you know, made sure I followed a guy that had a bigger gap. And, you know, Colin got hung up. I got right past him there and pushed forward from there. So, you know, I felt pretty good through the rocks. Johnny stalled at the first lap, and then Colton kind of a couple bobbles. So, you know, I knew I had the ability, just had to wait for my chance, and it came pretty easily. And next thing you know, I heard a lot of cheering, and then I looked back, and I was like, no one was there. So, you know, I just kind of wanted to ride focus and not make any mental mistakes.
That's a great way to start the evening.
Yeah, not bad at all. So hopefully get a couple more of those. But, you know, it's awesome racing and really having a blast out here. Thanks very much.
We'll turn our attention to the second final of the Prestige now. Reverse grid, so again, those slower 7 on the front row. and the fast 7 on the back row. And like we saw just a few moments ago with the juniors, it's going to be pretty tricky, that first obstacle. Everybody seemed to clear it in Prestige in the first race. Those, even the slower guys at the back didn't have too many issues. Not quite as bad as the juniors or indeed the Europeans that we saw a few moments ago. And if you want to see more from the Europeans, head on to my Instagram page, Ben Consti, Twitter and Instagram, and you can see some slow-mos I was doing a few moments ago. So victory for Cody Webb in the first one. He holds the advantage over the event so far. It was Blasusiak in second, and in third was Johnny Walker. They will start all on the second row. Interesting to see that David Leonov there in the 56, just hanging back a little bit, doesn't want to get caught up. Who's going to get the whole shot into that first crucial left-hand turn? Nicely spaced out. Oh, and on the very inside, Juan Pau Segura got stuck, and again, look, all of those fast guys didn't get through. One man that did, always makes good luck for himself. Blasusiak in second already. In the lead, I think it's Blake Goodsey. It is Blake Goodsey, the South African. Blasusiak dives to the inside and already puts himself ahead of the South African. Here's Johnny Walker around the outside into third position, followed by his teammate Cody Webb. And amazing work from those KTM boys to get through the traffic already when Billy Bolt is 8th position. And where is Colton Haker? Again, Colton Haker is nowhere. Colton Haker is at the back of the field. I think he might even be last. He is on the track, I promise. Blasusiak leads after one lap. Walker in second. Cody Webb, Blake Goodsey there in third position. Could really learn a lot from the front three now. If he can stick with them, be really, really good for Blake Goodsey. We've seen, especially in these third races, he gets pulled along by the leading contenders. He really is able to learn much, much more. So same three that we saw in the final one, in final two. Just saw Colton Haker in 11th position, in the middle of shot there, miles back from everybody else. No big dramas at the front of the field, big spaces out between the front three. In front of me, in front of my commentary box, just to the right of screen there, Colton Haker once again on his knees in the rock section. It's just going absolutely the wrong way for our two-time champion. Cody Webb has never picked up a Superenduro World Championship. Success over in America, of course. Began with trials, so he's come a different route to a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys come from motocross. We see a change there between Walker and Cody Webb. Now they're side by side, the two KTM boys. Webb shuts the door and puts himself in a second position. Walker tries to go up the inside, but it's just so slippery. And again, loses momentum, the Brit. So a change for second then. Yeah, just saying, a lot of these guys come from motocross and then kind of learn the technical side of things. Cody Webb the other direction. Trials rider, and then ended up learning the speed element. It's just got epic balance, and you can see that trials coming through. Just so able to keep that momentum. There's no stopping. He's always on the move. And if the bike does get a little bit out of shape, he's able to correct it with his body. Fastest lap of the race for Cody Webb at 42.2, plays Blasusiak's 45.0. 3 seconds out of it. There's Blasusiak in the middle of the screen, and at the back of the screen is Cody Webb. A big, long queue of bikes ahead of him. Blasusiak decides to go right to try and clear as many as possible. Cody Webb is on the left-hand side. Juan Pau Segura is on the middle. Oh, and Webb sneaks down the inside, past Blasusiak and into the lead, and already scampers away. Did that rock section so well. This could be a perfect 40 points for Cody Webb with 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Benji Herrera just in front, brother of Diego, is just won. Again, you can see the difference between the riders. You can see the stability that Cody Webb has. And even some of the prestige runners do struggle. Just so beautifully done through the matrix section. Places the bike exactly where he wants it, so he can put that left foot down on those particular rocks. I mean, it's certainly not easy, there's no doubt about that. The physicality and the effort, we'll actually talk a little bit about it in a second, that goes through these riders. They are really working hard. There's Colton Haker. Colton doing a really nice job. You can see the way he's riding is really great. But he's obviously got caught up in those problems on the first lap. Oh, puts a foot down again. Got the bike stuck on the sump. Now he gets going again, but Haker's down in 6th position. It's all the guys that you would expect him to clear. 6th is probably as far as he's going to go. He's got Manuel Lettenbicker in front of him. Lettenbicker is a good 20-odd seconds up the road from him, but he bolts in 4th position. Then Walker, Blasusiak and Webb. There is Johnny Walker. The gap to Blasusiak ahead of him. Blasusiak's just come across the line, actually. So quite a big gap, actually. Johnny's losing time. As we saw him do in the first race, he faded into Billy Bolt, didn't he, in the first race? Billy Bolt's made a bit of an error in that last lap, so it's not going to happen this time through. There's David Leonov on the 56. Oh, and it's getting close between our leaders. Must have been a mistake from Cody Webb, because Blasusiak's right on top of him now. And this next time through, we're going to get the last lap board. But could Blasusiak steal the maximum points from Cody Webb here? He'd want to, he definitely wants to. Wants to keep this championship alive. Just a couple of points to him in the first one. And they've lapped. God, they've lapped Colton Haker. There's Colton in the middle of the shot. Cody Webb manages to clear the traffic, gets stuck on the logs, but so does Blasusiak. Blasusiak to the left side. Webb to the right side through the matrix. Now gets caught. This is the final lap. This is the last challenge, really. And I think Cody Webb has done enough now. Doubles those last couple of logs. It's an easy run to the line, really, if you're nice and clean. He is nice and clean. It's going to be close, but Cody Webb takes victory number 2. Blasusiak makes it 2 seconds. And Johnny Walker in the background is going to come home, I think, a distant 3rd position. Could be a very distant 3rd position. Really faded. Takes the checkered flag. No sign of Billy Bolt. Bolt's another half a lap behind. Still struggling through the rock section. Still a couple of guys to take the checkered flag, but we're expecting Bolt next. There he is. No sign. Oh, actually, Lettenbicker's just ahead. This is the battle for position here between Lettenbicker and Bolt's just about got ahead. Has he? To the line with one passing in. Oh, that was close. Billy Bolt takes 4th, Lettenbicker 5th. Tell you what, the big story is what on earth is going on with Colton Haker's evening. Good stuff. Good stuff with Cody Webb. He's still got a bit of effort to get the bike on the rear wheel. Put on a bit of a show for the crowd. 20 points for race 1, 20 points for race 2. And we'll be able to talk in a few moments to the man that looks increasingly like he might take his first championship, Cody Webb. Just waiting for confirmation of the results then. And here are the confirmation of the results then. 1.7 seconds was the gap between Webb and Blasusiak. And look, Johnny Walker 19 back by the end. Good battle in the end between Bolt, Lettenbicker and Colton Haker, getting lapped in 6th position, a whole lap down. It's just not going right for the two-time champion.
2 out of 2, Cody. That's not bad going. That first corner, though, looked very, very tricky.
Yeah, you know, you don't want to risk it, especially after last race when I took a huge tumble and banged up my bike. And, you know, just squeaked through there. And next thing you know, I found myself in 3rd, I think, and got in behind Taddy. We got some lappers, and, you know, I knew that was something I could capitalize on. And I just made a really big push on that left side of the matrix and had an aggressive block on Taddy to the inside of the rocks and got the lead there and stuck it and opened up a little gap. But, man, he kept me honest the whole time. I never really was able to let down. I was just trying to be consistent, not make a mistake. And lap to go there. Just slammed into the back of Colton and almost both went down and got hung up the real bad. And Teddy got right on my rear tire, and I knew that last lap was going to suck. And, you know, it was only one lap. I just dug deep and caught another lapper in the rocks. And at that time, I just purposely kind of stopped to get Taddy messed up. And, you know, I already lost so much time there. And from there on, I just held to the finish.
It's amazing that there's so much going on, not just riding, but the amount of thinking that you guys have to do just to get round.
Yeah, this track, I mean, you know, every track this year's been tough, but this year, or this race here, it's just insane with the lappers. You know, it's really important. And I think both those 2 races, I got in the lead just because of lappers. I made a smart decision last second, and I don't know. I guess it just paid off. And we'll keep moving forward. The last main, it's definitely going to be tricky again. Taddy's pushing really hard tonight. Johnny's not far back behind there, so, you know, I just got to go out and do what I've been doing.
ATM domination, congratulations. Right, let's get this 3rd final underway. The fastest 7 are at the front once again, so that first corner shouldn't be too much of a problem unless people make mistakes. Can Colton Haker get any kind of luck? Johnny Walker's chosen to be a little bit further to the outside this time. But again, bad traction, bad start. Who's going to get the whole shot? It's Teddy Blasusiak. Then it's Haker. And Cody Webb is a bit further back this time. No, it's Lettenbicker in 2nd position. Where's Cody Webb? Where is Cody Webb? Did I miss him? Or has he fallen? I must have missed him. There he's right in the middle of the pack. So it's been a very bad start from Cody Webb. He's behind Colton Haker, and now he's got some work to do. Into the rock section for the first time. Goes on the outside of Johnny Walker. Blasusiak's not made a great meal of that rock section either. He's a bit slow to get up and running, isn't he? So it's Billy Bolt who leads now. No, it's Blasusiak who leads. Sorry, Blasusiak leads. Bolt in 2nd position. Lettenbicker was 3rd. He's now been mugged off by his 2 KTM teammates. Walker ahead, then Cody Webb, then Lettenbicker. And then it's Colton Haker at the back of the pack. Just cannot get any luck, Colton Haker. Walker goes to the right-hand side. Cody Webb on the inside, on the left-hand side. Oh, and down they both go. That's going to get Lettenbicker around the outside. Cody Webb's going nowhere because he's underneath Johnny Walker's foot there. And that was a big mistake from both of them. They now have some serious work to do. And Blasusiak, with the running standings, is now winning this event. David Leonov getting in the way there, but Blasusiak has a good advantage over Billy Bolt in 2nd position. Lettenbicker now firmly in 3rd position. Haker up to 4th, then Walker, then Webb. Where to look? There is Billy Bolt in that 2nd spot. He's 8 seconds back, but he's comfortably ahead of Lettenbicker at the back of shot there. Lettenbicker looks like he might lose the position to Colton Haker here. Haker's right on his tail. And then in the back of shot, the 2 KTMs covering up that mistake from Johnny Walker. so easy to lose it. Cody Webb did nothing wrong there, just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, what is going on with Colton Haker? He just didn't pop it at all. He tried to ride through the tyre. Haker is just not having it at all his own way. As he said to me in the interview, I think he's had too much of a good time in Spain. Side by side once again, the two KTMs go. This time another mistake from Johnny Walker. Cody Webb goes up into 4th position. Now they've got to chase down Let Vicker, who's 3rd. Mistake there, just at the bottom of a shot from Blasusiak. Lose too much time. Here is Let Vicker in 3rd. Fastest lap of the race from Cody Webb that last time through. Some serious traffic for Let Vicker to get through, but he's binned it on his own accord. Webb goes past. Walker gets caught up. So Walker isn't able to take advantage of that. Now Johnny Walker's going to go to the right-hand side. Webb's down. Webb's down in the matrix. They've all got tired, and Webb comes straight across the path of Johnny Walker. For a few moments, Let Vicker is back up into 3rd position, and Webb's down again for the 2nd time. Our champion, our championship leader, bins it twice and nearly bins it a 3rd time. Drops down to 5th position because Haker's so far back. Just what is going on? The level is so high, these guys are having to push so hard. So Blasusiak has 20 points at the moment, and with those last mistakes from Webb, Webb is only on 11 points. That is enough for Blasusiak to win the event. Meanwhile, that battle for 2nd position between Walker and Blasusiak will go the way, of course, of Blasusiak. Walker may also, he's not actually going to have enough points to pose Cody Webb, so Webb would probably still stay 2nd. Walker will be in 3rd position. Almost too far back to be able to capitalise. Whoa, big one! Big one from Cody Webb. And I think the bike is going to be damaged from that one. The handlebars don't look like they're straight. Cody Webb is having an absolute nightmare. Another big accident from Cody Webb. And he's now behind Colton Haker. There is Haker ahead of him. Blasusiak is about to lap him. Blasusiak is well ahead of Billy Bolt. Another mistake. What is going on with Cody Webb? This is so uncharacteristic. He's looked so strong this evening. And maybe the controls are just too bent now. He's dropped that bike one too many times. And Webb is going to lose out. I don't know whether he's going to drop down to 3rd position. Walker's back up to 3rd position now. This is the final lap, and Blasusiak, there he is going to win this event with injuries as Colton Haker goes down on the rocks again. This will be Blasusiak's first win, I think, his first win of the year. Cody Webb, I think, has won every single event this season. I can't remember who won Poland. Maybe it was Blasusiak who had enough points. But here he comes around the final corner. No spark, said Blasusiak. I just don't feel it. But he's got enough pace still to take victory in the final photo, and he's going to take victory overall. 2nd position is going to go to this man, Billy Bolt, in this 3rd event. Lovely stuff over those last couple of obstacles. He takes the checkered flag. Bolt, 3rd in the championship, takes 2nd tonight. Johnny Walker takes 3rd. That could be good enough to put him onto the podium. And the last man to take the checkered flag is Manuel Lettenbicker. But points are now important. Who is got the points? There's David Leonov coming to finish. Cody Webb. I think he's just lost it. I think he's just lost the event for the first time. I think Cody just heading over to the marshal that went onto the ground when he had that accident, just looking for it, because he'll be concerned over her well-being. And he'll be brutally bruised as well. Blasusiak, though, rode a pretty error-free run and took the victory. Congratulations. It might not be Cody Webb on the top step. Yeah, good stuff from Cody Webb. I think she was absolutely fine. She was on her feet, but clearly shaken, and Cody's just got to go and check up on how she is. Wow, Tadej Blasusiak. 2 weeks ago, he was off his bike underneath the grandstand. He damaged his ribs. He had an infection in the elbow. He hasn't felt like himself all evening. And Blasusiak has taken the event victory, and he won that last race by 20 seconds. And the Stag do love it. It's time to entertain the crowd, Taddy. Right then, who wants the goggles? What an entertainer, what an entertainer. I thought that Blasusiak was not feeling himself, but that looks very much like the Tadej Blasusiak we know. And somebody very lucky has just got themselves a pair of goggles. Hopefully they're a rider of a mountain bike or indeed a motorbike, and they can use them or at least put them on the shelf and maybe come down and get them autographed. What a show that we've had here in Bilbao. Maybe not quite the complete craziness that we had in Malaga, but that third final was quite remarkable. Blasusiak won by 20 seconds over Billy Bolt. Johnny Walker in third position, and Manuel Lettenbicker, the fourth rider not to be lapped. Colton Haker got lapped to the end after craziness. Cody Webb down in eighth position. What a disaster for our championship leader. He still, I think, will be the championship leader coming away from here. Still have enough points, but he hasn't won the event. Cody, you hit the deck quite a few times there. How are you?
What's that?
You hit the deck a few times. Are you feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. That was terrible. Not proud of that at all. It's just, you know, the front end hit the log at an angle in the matrix. I flew off the track, and I got going into the rocks, and just, you know, I got ahead of Manny and Johnny. I didn't really lose a position, and dirt's so slick out here. The front end just washed out, and kind of pumped up when I got going there, and then just right there, I mean, I took out one of the flag girls. I went over afterwards to make sure she was all right. She's okay. So I mean, just embarrassing on my part. Not proud of that at all. But I mean, I think we still got a third overall tonight. So the red plate wasn't. It was a great start to the night and terrible finish.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen you be so consistent over the course of a weekend and so able to control everything. What went wrong?
You know, I just had that one mistake in the matrix, and then it was just rushed coming out of that next spot, and then, you know, track's really rutted and torn up, and, you know, I was pumped up, and I just doubled into this little thing before the finish and committed to the next one and just completely flew off the back of the bike. And, you know, I was still in an okay position, but the bike was so banged up, I couldn't even go in a straight line and crashed again. I just couldn't ride straight at all, and I just lifted it. It's pretty embarrassing.
You're still on the podium, so congratulations.
Yeah, terrible night. Get on the podium, not so bad.
Exactly. Taddy, considering you don't feel like Taddy this evening, not only was that a very Taddy performance, but you gave a good show to the crowd as well.
Yeah, you know, like I said, you know, it's like no excuses. I was just, you know, digging deep, and this is what happened. You know, I don't feel myself, But you know, I made the best out of it. You know, and pulled some good starts, and I had to hammer hard today. To be honest, I had to really work for it. So yeah, stoked on the win, and amazing to leave this place with a win. Like considering how I felt coming in.
Absolutely. On the top set of the podium, the Polish national anthem. Good stuff.
Love it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So there is the event classification confirmation. Blasusiak taking a 6-point advantage over Johnny Walker in second position. Cody Webb does come away with a podium, just 2 points ahead of Billy Bolt after what he described as an embarrassing run in that third final. To be fair, he had plenty of crashes, and it couldn't have been easy to control the bike. So he loses a little bit of his advantage over Blasusiak at the top of the championship, with Billy Bolt holding on to third. Walker is now up to fourth position. Colton Haker in fifth. Our champion is not going to be champion in 2017-18. Colton Haker is going to be beaten. But as we go to Sweden, will it be Cody Webb or Blasusiak to take away his 7th title? It'll be a lot of work, and it'll be a big disaster for Cody Webb if Blasusiak is able to do it. Cody Webb's never won an FIM Superenduro Championship, so it'll be very good to add his name. Only 3 people have done it so far. Blasusiak has done it 6 times. Cody Webb, Colton Haker's done it twice. David Knight was the very first winner back in 2007, but it wasn't actually called the Superenduro World Championship at that point. Yeah, Cody feels pretty flat, and I think a little bit shaken by that last final. 4 or 5 crashes in the space of 2 laps. And clearly in the back of his mind, he was concerned by the marshal as well. Johnny Walker, what a night for him. Super pole, 3 points, and coming away with the runner-up spot. He'll be very, very happy with that. But considering Tadej Blasusiak was buried in the grandstand 2 weeks ago, this is incredible for the Polish rider. All night he's been saying he doesn't feel like himself, and yet there he is on the top of the podium. 20 seconds is advantage on that last race over Billy Bolt. The red plate still with Cody Webb, meaning he is the championship leader going to our final event in Sweden on Easter weekend.
Coming up after the break, we head to Sydney Motorsport Park for the opening round of the High Tech Oils Australian FX Superbike Championship for 2018.